with the upcoming release of Avengers Endgame, I figured it'd be fun to sit down and talk about an oldie but goodie, an arcade game called Marvel Superheroes. It is pretty much a Capcom game where you're kind of like Street Fighter, where you pick a character and have a 2D fight with the other heroes slash villains. The overall theme is pretty much getting hold of the Infinity Gems and defeating Thanos to either save or rule the universe. At the time of recording, I was not able to get hold of the proper tools to make my own footage of the game. It would have been fun to play it again. However, I was just having too much trouble getting files to, mix up with right versions of names and stuff. That still did not stop us from sitting down and talking about the game and the various characters involved. And this will probably be a multi-part video, by the way, so I will put something down where if you want to skip through certain characters, because we're going to start with the characters that are not involved in the actual MCU, and then move on to characters that are involved in the MCU movies. So, have you ever played the Marvel Superheroes game back when it was in the arcade or on like one of the systems? No. Okay.
I have no experience with it whatsoever.
All right. Well, I played it a lot when I was a kid, and I remember what you call it when it came out on Sega Saturn. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So it was Sega Saturn, and I remember it was late coming out too, because it was supposed to come out that year, September 22nd. And, I remember going to, the GameStop. I was, a dumb kid or whatever at the time. But I remember going to the GameStop or whatever they were, our Babbages.
Yeah, we didn't have anything like that. Babbages. Yeah, we had a Babbage.
But anyway, no, I remember I go in there, do you have this game? He's like, well, it's not out until the 22nd. It's like, it is the 22nd! But no, apparently they were late or something getting it out. And, of course, me being a punk kid was like, oh my god, how can they not be on time? Alright, so the first character that they let you pick in this particular game, because there's one that's in the arcade and there was one on the Super Nintendo. I never played the one on the Super Nintendo because I didn't own the Super Nintendo when I was a kid. It is going to be Psylocke, so ladies first.
Yep.
Now, you tell me that in the actual comic book, or the comic series, Psylocke had nothing to do with any of the Infinity War or anything like that, right?
Yeah, I think she fought in the Secret Wars, but not the Infinity Wars.
Alright, what's the Secret Wars, though?
Oh, that was an early 80s event. They had a whole bunch of heroes, all the Avengers, Spiderman, some of the X-Men. They got teleported to some weird world and had to fight this crazy war. That's where Spider-Man got the black costume that eventually became Venom.
Well, I actually did a little research, and what I mean by research is I took 5 seconds to look at a Wikipedia page. But apparently there's a couple reasons why Psylocke is in this game. One of which is before they had done this game, which is Marvel Superheroes, they did X-Men Children of the Atom. And she was a favorite of everybody that played that game. The previous game also, like I said, Children of the Atom, because I saw someone complain, well, why do they call it Marvel Superheroes when it's, only 5 heroes, something about the Hulk, and then, you get 4 bad guys you pick from. And I think what it is they were just repeating the same pattern they had from Children of the Atom, because the Children of the Atom was, you pick, 6 X-Men, you had, the Silver Samurai, Omega Red, the Sentinel, and, I think... I can't remember her name, but she had 6 arms. She worked for, a guy called Mojo.
Yeah.
Spiral. That's her name.
Yeah, I remember the character, but I couldn't remember her name.
Yeah. And then, like I said, the final boss was, you fought the Juggernaut and then, Magneto. And Magneto was, a total jerk in that game, because I don't think you could, block half his moves or something like that.
Oh, jeez.
But I think they just went with the same pattern, and also video games back then, they didn't, I guess they still were not taken serious yet, so when you went to Marvel and hey, we're going to do this, they're yeah, whatever, just make your game, just, give us the money for a license. And they didn't really, hold them to a standard or anything, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they weren't as picky as Disney is.
Do you remember playing her in Marvel Superheroes?
Yes, I actually liked her. She had that, she was kind of a little bit harder to use because she had that teleportation, where you could teleport, depending on your punch or kick you teleport in different areas, okay? But it got to the point where it's kind of easy to predict, so it was a kind of a one-trick pony.
Yeah, I got you. Kind of like Dowson was back in the day. Yeah.
Or M. Bison with the Psycho Charge, you can kind of predict, yeah, he's going for the Psycho Crusher, whatever it is.
Well, like I said, I already talked with Lags about how, the reason they brought this character over is actually it was popular from X-Men Children of the Atom. Honestly, the average Joe actually finds her to be one of the easiest characters to play. They actually suggest it's kind of like Dead or Alive, where you just button smash, and you theoretically should win.
Yeah, you can do that, but like I said, she doesn't have a huge moveset, and like I said, except for her teleport, but it starts to get really easy to predict and really easy to counter. So it is easy to use, but for the more advanced players, I really haven't seen her used a whole lot.
Alright, fair enough. You got any thoughts about Psylocke besides what we just went over?
Besides eye candy.
Well, we were not going to mention that, but yes, there might be alternative reasons why she was popular among the folks there. Alright, so there's a character called Shuma Gorath, right? I'll admit, I don't know anything about him. Like I said, I played him in the game. He looks like a tentacle monster with one eyeball.
Oh, jeez.
According to Wikipedia again, because I had to fall back to Wikipedia for information, apparently he's a Doctor Strange villain of some sort. Do you know anything about this guy?
No, not Doctor Strange stuff.
No, not Doctor Strange. Okay. Alright, so the only other thing I have is, real quick, I glanced over during the Wikipedia thing. For whatever reason, and Thanos decided to pick a fight with this guy during the actual Infinity War. I think what it is obviously Thanos has a different motive in the actual comic book version compared to the movies. So I guess that's why it's hard for, for me to grasp. Because, I'll admit, they did a good job with Thanos' what he's doing in the movies. I know, in the comic book, what is it? He wants to win the love of death or something like that?
Yeah, he's absolutely, head over heels in love with Death, and she does not even care about him. She actually ends up with Deadpool, of all people.
Oh my. Okay, that's actually too much fun. But,
Yeah, it was something.
But obviously, this Shuma Gorath guy, which is, like I said, one of these people that, only Doctor Strange would deal with, is, he decided to take him on and, I guess, kill him to, make Death appreciate him more, or whatever. Who knows?
Just to try and get her attention. He's just trying to get her attention.
Okay. So,
and he's failing hard.
I'll admit, I remember his stage, if you fought on a stage, because you know how the average Street Fighter stage is these days? Or the Capcom kind of fighting stage? You can go back and forth, but there's usually a barrier. I remember Shuma Gorath is, if once you broke through the wall, you can walk around this planet forever. And especially if you were, juggling someone, it's it just doesn't stop.
One of the few where I had no idea who it was, but I did look him up, and he's a demon. So apparently it's just, they just took superheroes and then, took some villains and they just threw them together in the Marvel Universe. So, he's a demon, bad person. But I know that, playing him, he was, really hard to use. But if you could master him, he was freaking insane. He was really hard to play against. Someone who was good. I know I fought a few, and he has that one ultimate ability where if he hits you, then he does this super move which takes a lot of health from you. So playing against him was kind of rough sometimes, especially against someone who was really good playing with him. He had some good moves and stuff, but otherwise, if you play against him, the AI was kind of dumb most of the time, and you just destroyed them.
I know I did try it a few times, but yeah, it was Zangief.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, it wasn't like Zangief. He had the eye rolling, shot the eye lasers and stuff. Could turn to stone, fall down, and like I said, the ultimate ability was kind of hard to counter sometimes because especially they just had to hit you with it, and if it made a hit, then kind of screwed you over. But never really saw too many people play. There were only a few people unfortunately, out of all of this, people only used 4 or 5 of the actual heroes all the time.
Yeah, fair enough. Did come across a few people that were just more of a hardcore player, not really. Well, I don't want to say they didn't join the game, but they didn't do it for the fluff of the Marvel
No,
universe.
They just wanted to win. I'm gonna win because this character's overpowered or has a few moveset which makes it overpowered, so yes.
Alright, so the next guy I have on the list is a gentleman called Blackheart. No, he was a villain in the Ghost Rider movie, but obviously they didn't really do the same. The only thing I really know about him is he's Mephistophelies' son, if I'm saying that's right. I know apparently he's just another one of these if I get the gems, I'll just destroy the galaxy in my way. Thanos isn't doing it right. He's got to do it my way. I'll admit, I did go back and see some of these endings, Shuma Gorath, Blackheart's, Doctor Doom's, Thanos, and pretty much everybody wants to destroy the galaxy, but they have to do it their way.
Yeah, it can't be slightly different. It's got to be this exact way.
Know anything about Blackheart in terms of lore? I don't know if you.
Yeah, I did. I was reading up. He was created by Mephisto or Satan, so he's technically the son of Satan. He's a demon, so he has a lot of demonic powers, and just like him and Shuma Gorath, they both have mystical powers also. But he also can summon lesser demons and stuff, which his moveset is he summons the little gremlin, where up in the air or on the ground to get you. Yeah, so he can summon them. He has superhuman strength, stuff like that. So I remember playing him. He could be good, but he's more of a fluff character like Shuma Gorath, so you really didn't see a whole lot of people play him because he wasn't the top tier character.
Alright, so next on my list is Magneto. What do you got for Magneto? I'm assuming he doesn't really have anything to do with the Infinity War? You said none of the X-Men really do?
Well, for the Infinity War movie, they don't have the rights to any of the... Well, they didn't have the rights to the mutants then. I think they have them now, I think, because they bought Fox, so now they can start introducing the X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, Magneto He didn't really have anything to do with it. I don't know if there. I think there was a comic like event for this, but
Actually, all I know, like Magneto is pretty much what the cartoon series are that they've had back in the past. You know, they had like the Saturday mornings Fox.
yeah, his story hasn't changed too much, even though they make him impossibly old now.
With the X-Men, at least with the X-Men, I don't know about the rest of the Marvel Universe if they handle it the same way when they do different media every so often. Like, I know there's like at least 3 or 4 different X-Men series, you know, from when I was a kid to like now.
Oh yeah, there's
Yeah,
all
like-
kinds of them.
Yeah, they had like X-Men in high school. They have X-Men and the Wolverine, you know, that type of stuff. And
Yeah, they
each
had
time-
X-Force and Excalibur and all that shit. Oh man, it's crazy.
Alright, but every time they did one of these series, especially just focusing on X-Men, certain people would be like a good guy in one series and then a bad guy in another series. For example, like I know Gambit like was a bad guy in one of them, but yet he was a good guy in the original X-Men. You know, like any reason why they do that, where like they just randomly
Different writers.
everybody?
It's like the old Transformer cartoons where sometimes you know they could just lift their arms and fly into the air, and then other times they had to like take a different Transformer that could fly. Is that what the writer was feeling at the time?
Yeah, you're right. I think Magneto generally stays the same. I guess he was more interesting than the average bad guy because, you know, he grew up on G.I. Joe. It's like, I just want to take over the world. You know, Megatron just wants to take over the universe. And the thing is, you got Magneto. It's like, well, I don't really want to take over the world, but I want to fight for, you know...
I want to stop another Holocaust.
You know, maybe once in a while I'll take over the world. I don't know. And I know at the end
If I feel like it.
I know at the end of this, by the way, if you win with Magneto after you defeat Thanos, he actually uses the Infinity Gauntlet to make a second moon, and he moves all the mutants to that moon and makes it a new haven for mutant kind now. So that's what he does with the Infinity Gauntlet if he were to get a hold of it. Like,
Magneto is awesome. He was the same way as you saw him in X-Men vs. Street Fighter, where he had, you know, his beams, his big thing, his combo, he would do the magnetic grip so you couldn't dodge anything, and then he would do his super, and that was a good combo that people got caught in all the time. Very easy to pull off. Yep.
Okay, so I got a question. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, they added the second move, right? He didn't have the second move in Marvel Superheroes, he only had Shockwave, which was the one
Yeah,
that, like...
he only had the shockwave. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, they added his other one, the one where he shot like the little balls of whatever. X-Men vs. Street Fighter, they gave everyone like extra movesets or something. They gave him an extra moveset. Unfortunately, they didn't give the Juggernaut or Wolverine any extra stuff. And they kind of changed the button configuration for Wolverine, so it was harder to do his little whatever like drill dash it was. But with going back to Magneto, yeah, his shockwave was the only thing from Marvel superheroes, but it was still really powerful. Like I said, you do the quarter circle back kick to do the magnetic grip, so they couldn't do anything, and then you just do the shockwave and nail them. It was even better if you could use the Power Stone, where it deals more damage and you just destroy them.
I believe his favorite stone was the Space Stone, though, right? Like, it put
It
the
was
shield
his
around him?
Space Stone, yes. That was his stone. However, in the game, you could use whatever stone you really wanted to. We can talk more about the different stones later, but I always like the Power Stone because it always made everything you use more damaging.